Jim Brandvik here. Hey, quick tip here. If you ever need to test fit a stone in a bezel, and you really shouldn't have to do that very often, but there are situations where you really need to test fit before you commit to setting the stone. I've got one of those situations on my bench right now, so I thought I'd share a quick tip that was shared with me many years ago by an old native jeweler in New Mexico. And let's get to it. Like I said, most of the time you don't need to do this, or you shouldn't need to do this, because you should know that your bezel and your stone are going to fit. However, in this case, I had to make a really tiny bracelet. I mean, this thing is probably maybe 5¼ inches before I formed it into a bracelet. And so most bracelets start out as 6 inches, ladies' bracelets that I make, these cuff bracelets. But in this case, it's got such a tight radius that I wanted to go inside the bezel and flatten out the foundation for the stone, because I didn't want the stone to be sitting on a radius where the outer edges weren't supported, and that would be a weakness, and I don't want the stone to end up cracking if the lady, bumps it. I want it to be well supported. So what I did was came in with a ball burr, and I'm just finishing that up actually, to flatten the foundation below the stone. Once I've done that, I've changed the height of the bezel essentially. I've changed the height at which the stone's going to sit. And I may need to end up putting some backing inside here, some DevCon or some epoxy backing, or maybe even a piece of metal. But that's why I'm in a situation where I really do need to test fit the stone. Now that looks pretty good to me. I've been working on it for a few minutes. But if I put that stone in there and I don't have access to the bottom side, I'm not going to be able to get it out. So what I have is a couple of pieces of dental floss, and let me zoom you in here. All right, so I'm going to lay a piece of dental floss in here, and this is a castellated bezel, so this makes this really easy, but you can do this with any bezel. And then I have another piece of dental floss. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Now I can put my stone in, and it still fits well. It definitely sits lower in the bezel on one side though. Let me look at it. Well, not so much. No, it wasn't all the way down. But yeah, I think that's going to work. Now, if it didn't work, if it wasn't quite right, I would be in a real pickle right now, because there would be no way for me to extract the stone from the bezel. But with this little dental floss trick, if I can remember how to floss, it lifts right out. Anyway, a quick tip that I hope you can use in the future, and I'll see your bright and shiny face in the next video. Be sure and hit that like button. Show Jim some love.